fast approaching, and if you haven't decided yet what you're serving, you're in luck today. Our friend and local blogger Nancy McNulty has come up with some tasty yet healthy snack ideas that are perfect for the big game this weekend. Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here because I certainly love talking about, party food.
Yes, of course the food is very important, but of course the Super Bowl is just going to be fun anyways. A lot of stuff's going to be happening, a lot to look forward to.
I know, and I make no bones about it. I'm not asked to a Super Bowl party for my great sports knowledge. But I can tell you, Kelly Clarkson, they are saying she's going to do the national anthem in 1 minute and 24 seconds. Those are the kinds of things I bring to a party.
That's right.
And good food. So
that's right. And so not just her, actually Madonna too, right?
Yeah, Madonna halftime. Wouldn't it have been fun if they'd done a mashup with Keith Urban? But anyway, they didn't call us.
Music out there.
Call us.
Okay, so you've got 3 different recipes for us today, all with wonton wrappers, right?
Yeah, it's like the salute to wonton wrappers today. And there's such a forgiving thing to use. And also, with my kids, we need a chip alternative. And it's really super low fat. And I think, this is made out of a wheat flour, so it's not too bad. Yeah. First thing you do is you just take your pizza cutter and cut them in half.
Okay. And so these are the rosemary chips.
These are the rosemary chips that'll go with your hummus dip. And you put it on your well-seasoned cookie platter. And then we're going to go ahead and I use this is like a meat. We use this to kind of pat meat with it to get it all. But for this, I'm using it to mix up my rosemary and my sea salt. So give it a few whacks right there.
Nope.
Give it a few more whacks.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you've got some anger to get out.
You know what? It's a great frustration release tool. So what we're also going to do is take an egg white that I've whipped a little bit of water in it to get it lighter. And I'm going to take it, I'm going to brush them down. And like I said, I've already put Pam on my cooking sheet because it will stick. So we'll go ahead and we've got those ready. And then we'll just sprinkle it. And if you aren't a big salt fan or you do like more, you can just kind of adjust it to your own palate. Yeah, just sprinkle it right on there.
So that's pretty easy too.
So then we'll just fill up our plate, our cookie sheet, and then you'll cook them for like 5 to 6 minutes. Be very careful. I'm so bad at letting something burn. They don't taste as good.
Right.
In fact, they taste
and especially
awful.
Cooking only 5 to 6 minutes. You got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Pretty easy
400.
right there.
So there you go. You got your chip.
Yeah. And over here we have the finished product. They come out looking delicious.
Yeah.
This looks like something you could get in the store, except it's going to be better because it's homemade.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the fact that I can make them 4 or 5 days in advance. I sent my kids back to school with a big baggie full of these. They save really well. You don't want them in an airtight container though.
Right.
So what do you want to go with your rosemary chip? How about
gotta have some hummus, right?
Hummus. You know what? You have to be careful. Hummus is deceiving. Do you think hummus is like a super, good for you?
I typically would think it's pretty good for you, but you said it can be deceiving.
It can be deceiving with that tahini paste in it. It could end up having like 22 grams of fat. But the chickpea, it's very low fat.
Right.
High in protein, which is great when you're trying to get your kids to get some good protein.
So this is going to be a little healthier. You do have an alternative.
I do.
What is this here?
Okay, this is non-fat yogurt. And that's kind of the key to me in light cooking is when you use like a yogurt, a non-fat yogurt, unflavored substitute, and whenever you're doing dressings or anything like that. And so it helps it whip up lighter and have a nice little paste, have a nice little fluffy texture to it.
And so here's the substitute, right?
Yeah, that's the substitute for the tahini. It's low-fat peanut butter.
There you go.
So, and it's
not much either.
Yeah, it's not much. It's a teaspoonful. So that'll kind of give it that yummy flavor. It says a full lemon, and I just went ahead and cut it in half, but you want to, whenever it calls for half a lemon or whatever, I throw the whole lemon in because why waste?
You can't have enough, right?
You can't have enough. I love it. We need to add a little bit of garlic, and then we'll just whip it up, and we'll have a yummy hummus. And here's another thing I like about this hummus. It also saves several days in the refrigerator. So everything I'm talking about doing today, you really can do it in advance.
Right.
So we'll pulse it up.
Because you're definitely not going to have any leftover. So
no, you're not.
But at least you can do it in advance.
But if you want to put it in also in your fridge for your kids to snack on for a couple of days in a row, you've got it. And you'll add your cumin to taste. Are you pro-cumin or do you like a light cumin?
Pro-cumin.
Oh, good.
Sure.
So we'll add a good bit of that. And there you go. We'll add it to our rosemary chip. Now, how about a little wonton action?
Yeah, you are getting crazy with the wonton. So tell us about what's your inspiration for these anyways?
Well, you know, I put out a Christmas newsletter, you know, where I mentioned that my kids did not cure cancer. We don't get the Pulitzer Prize, but at the end I always put in a recipe. And several years ago I did this rosemary chip, and so many people like it. I serve it for, you know, as many parties as I can do. And it's, like I said, it's a very forgiving product to use. Why don't you grab that package right there?
All right, so let's do this quickly. We're running out of time here,
you know
but this is fun because it's easy. We can do it quickly, and it's crab wontons.
Yeah.
So what's the first thing we do?
You know what? I've got it already mixed up, but one other thing I want to mention about the wonton wrapper, you find it in the produce section. My husband looked all over the store one day, so FYI. So you're going to add your cream cheese, you'll add your garlic, you'll add some garlic salt, some Worcestershire. It's only an eighth, so I just kind of feel, well, there you go.
Hey,
garlic salt, a little Worcestershire, and then you'll add your imitation crab meat. It's a little, it's cheaper. It's a hearty, you know, fish to be using. Mix it on up. And then you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let's just scoot this over.
And what I like about this recipe is you're going to make them into little footballs.
How about that?
They're so cute.
According to us, they're footballs. So anyway.
Use your imagination.
I happen to already have some made up. And the thing I like to do is, look, I've got a little football item. I'm going to get the water already on here so it'll crunch up on you real nicely. And you know another thing, you can make this you can make the crab, you know, the day before, and then you make these up, squish them together just really nicely, and put them on your cookie sheet.
Here, I'm gonna
and then
slowly walk over here. And put it on the
well,
cookie
you know
sheet.
what? Or just bring the sheet back on over. And you know what I love about this? Again, you know, wonton wrappers are real forgiving as long as you don't burn them.
Yeah.
You know, and they're real easy to use and to fashion to however you want. And look, you squish them up, and you know, mine are not going to be like.
And after you cook them, they are going to come out looking like a little football.
They
I love that.
You know,
How cute is that?
In our mind, they're very football-y.
Perfect for the Super Bowl. And speaking of that, who's going to win? Brady versus Peyton.
Which one do you think? I think Brady.
I don't. He shows up usually.
Yeah,
so.
I kind of go for who's cuter.
Yeah, well, they're both pretty cute, but I guess.
And I can't wait for the commercials. I've already seen a couple of previews. The Matthew Broderick Ferris Bueller Day Off kind of one right now is looking very fun. So it's going to be a fun party.
It should be funny. You just helped us out, make it even better. Thank you so much, Nancy. We love you.
Glad to be here.
And hey, you can read all about Nancy's food, restaurant, and travel adventures all on her blog. It's NanceSense.com. We've got a link to that on the More at Midday section of our website. That's WSMV.com.